Hey class, today we're going to try something a little different. Instead of going through PvPoke or looking at a specific Pokemon analysis, we're going to look at an outside tool that might help you specifically up your game when trying to deal with Go Battle League. Today we're going to go on GoBattleLog.com and we're going to try how that goes out. So grab a seat and get ready for notes because it's time for a lesson. So boom, boom, boom. GoBattleLog.com. Now, I'm going to be using an account version that happens to have access to everything, but the free account has access to tracking battles, reports, and I want to teach you guys how to track battles, how to look at the reports, how to use this inside your advantage. Now, there are some pros and cons of Go Battle Log, but we're going to look at the whole thing as the whole program as a whole. We're going to see how it works, and we're going to see how much we like it and whether or not it's for you. I would say for people that like tracking all their battles and getting good data off of it instead of logging everything down themselves, it's really useful. For people that don't really care about the data that they see, they don't really care and they just kind of do it intrinsically, then maybe it's not the program for you. But for those of you guys that want to up your game just a little bit, and have all the data presented for you very quickly and easily. GoBattleLog is a very useful free tool, and if you pay for the full service, it even gives you a bit of a bonus benefit as well, which we'll be getting to. So first, let's looking at tracking your battles. Now, if you guys look at this right here, you could track your battle by entering your team. So you see how there's Great League, Ultra League, Master League, and the site's even made to set up the different types of metas, like say Nightfall for upcoming league. For Ultra, there's Premier, and it tells you, and you can even customize what rating you are at, like if you are at ranks 1 through 20, or if you're the 2750 MMR, or whatever you want, you can update to see what you see. The cool thing about Go Battle Log is that the more people that use it, the more data it can get, and the more accurate it becomes. So that means if the more you guys use it, the better of a tool it becomes to help give you information. Now, you enter your team, and the way that you can enter your team is by typing in the mons, which will autofill for you. So, for example, inside Ultra League, let's say I want to use something like Gengar. It tells you what the mon is and it has the suggested move from PvPoke because it uses similar scripting as PvPoke. And then let's say if I use something like Alolan Muck, right? This is regular Muck. So if I go like this, it tells me that I have Alolan Muck and what movesets to have there, right? So you can enter your team, right? Now after you enter your team, you can then later enter your battles. You can type down what mons that they have, lead, and then the two mons in the back, and then you write down whether you won or lost. Now, as you do that, you can then track your results. Now, the cool thing about tracking the battles here, yes, it's a little meticulous, writing everything in on your own and typing all the mons down. But the reason why it's useful is because after you type in every single match you had, I spent a stream trying to do this once, you guys will get nice little graphs as shown here. Now let's look at the report. Now for all the battles that you guys have, so this right here is the general battles for everyone. This is not a specific MMR, but if you do it for yourself, you will have your own personalized one. But looking at this generalized one right here, the the ones in the middle tell you what leads are commonly used, and then later what mons usually come with that lead. So for example, Gallade is commonly used, and Venusaur is usually in the back with Glade, or Charizard is commonly used, and then there are Venusaur is in the back with Charizard. So you see how it shows you. Here's the lead, what are common things that come with it, based off the battles of everyone, and then when you have your own independent one for a personalized result inside your own MMR bracket, you'll be able to see your lead with the monster in the background and what ones that you will go up against, right? Now, the cool thing about it is that when you have your personalized reports, not only will it tell you what do you commonly go up against, it can also suggest you what things you run into the most automatically, and it also tells you what you might be able to use to beat it. Now, this tells you what the generalized meta is. This is what the most common leads are. This most common second and third mons are, right? So as we saw Venusaur, 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 Venusaur over here. So we would expect a good snot lead but inside the back would be Venusaur, right? And you notice Venusaur is predominantly in the back While in the front, though it is common as the, what was that, eighth most common mon, or ninth most common mon, it is not the most common lead, right? It's more commonly found in the back. But with that said, uh, if you put in your data, it will give you a personalized report, and that's how you read it, and that's how you use it. The center part tells you the lead, the other part tells you which goes with that lead, and it tells you the leads, the mons when you look at the graph here. And this is what mons show up often in the meta. Now, with that said, if you want to take it one step further, the only thing that the paid service inside this website does, if you support the website, is you can have this little button right here. This is the generate anti-meta teams. Now, the algorithm for this one is that it uses a really basic algorithm to figure out what the anti-teams are, and then later can even give you a spice pick as well. So here are suggested teams, and I'll show you suggested spice teams, suggested sylph teams, and how it all looks. So anti-meta mons, right? Things that beat the things that are really common in the meta right here would be things like Gallade, Magnezone, Electivire. It just shows you a bunch of different things. Here are things that do well against leads. This is a good anti-second mon, a good anti-third mon, and here's a suggestion of teams where it tells you about what you should put in the lead, what you should say swap to, and what you should have as a closer. Okay. Now, the strength of this is that for those of you guys that have a little rough time building a team, and the videos that I've made in the past haven't helped you out enough for you to construct a team that yet you feel comfortable with, this website can suggest teams that you might want to try out, that you might want to use, that you might have already, and that you can pick up yourself. Here are the spicy teams, which is built differently from the other ones. But you notice the cool thing about everything here is if you click on these teams right here, it will automatically pop up. So the Glade, Muck Shadow, and Magnezone, it shows you an automatic PV poke, one shield scenario based off the data since GoBattleLog got the asked PvPoke for the coding and got access to the usage. So the real cool thing is just by clicking on it, it shows you what goes up against the meta in a one-shot situation, and it just shows you really quick on-the-fly information if you wanted to use this. Now, I would say that the pros of GoBattleLog is that for those of you guys that like tracking all your information, it gives you all the information inside a nice visual graphic. It also gives you suggestions for teams if you feel unsure, and it also gives you handy dandy quick information on the fly for the most common set at the ease of a click. Now the cons, I would say that you could track all this on your own if you guys want to use Excel sheets if you're that type of person. You can just track everything on your own and you can see your data firsthand. It won't be as nice, but at least you'll have the data that you use yourself. You don't technically need it. Another con is if you're not the type of person that wants to keep all your data, then it also doesn't have any use for you either. A real good pro about this program is the more people that use it, the stronger it gets because they'll have more data points for it to choose and see what the meta looks like. Another con is it's still relatively new, so there's not enough data yet unless you guys start joining in. Another pro is that these suggested teams are really cool. But the con is if you don't know how to use it or you rely too much on it, you don't take the time to develop your own personal skills. I would say it's a really useful tool for a lot of different type of players. I personally I liked it when I tried it out, but it doesn't really fit my playstyle since I don't really keep track of all the leads and all the things that I go up against. So that's why it's a little different for me. But I think you guys should all test it out. It's a really nice tool. It's a really cool thing. And GoBattleLog.com is a really nice resource that's just extra for you guys to use and to give you guys more data. I know you guys have some other classes to attend, so with that, I hope you see y'all next time. Class is dismissed. Make sure you guys check out GoBattleLog if you have some extra time or if it might suit your fancy. And also, big thanks to PvPoke for giving us the information and the coding available for other websites. See you guys next time.